Hello YouTube, this is Judging Game 44 here, and today we are here to review Season 2, Episode 2 of Avatar the Live Action. Now, I will be honest, like from my last review, honestly, this wasn't as bad as the first episode. And I also did rewatch the first episode, and after seeing how everything happens, it's not that bad, which I'm kind of surprised now from compared to my last review. I guess that's because I was really not that surprised anymore. Now, anyway, Episode 2 is kind of like a mix of five different episodes of Avatar together. I mean, you got Zuko alone. You got the also episode where Toph is introduced. You also got the episode where Avatar Aang is being chased by Azula. But they really don't do that. It's where they all just meet up at each other in a town and the fight begins. Because in that episode back in the anime series, it was where they were all being chased by Azula until they reach this deserted town, and then they have this fight scene, which that's technically the part they kept in, where Zuko, Asula, and Aang are all fighting against each other, which I will say was definitely interesting. Now, anyway, technically there were two other episodes, but I can't really remember exactly those two. Well, actually, they did brought up the flashback episode where how Toph learns earthbending. I know there was like a fifth episode they kind of put in there together. Oh wait, yeah, now I remember. It was one of the episodes Zuko alone, but the one before it, where Zuko stole that ostrich bird and basically ran off, stole it from a girl who basically helped them. Now, I'm going to be honest here with this. This was definitely interesting because honestly, they did kind of put the plots together and it was way more better. But I did have my issues with it. With the flashbacks, while the flashbacks were interesting, seeing Zuko as a child along with Asula with the mother, honestly, I felt like they need a lot more with that. And I mean, the fact that they combine two characters and put them together as siblings, because in Zuko alone, in the other episode, which I forgot the title, what it's called, but it was the episode, like I said, which Zuko stole the ostrich bird at the end of the episode, and basically the girl who had a scar on her leg were telling that she was attacked by the Fire Nation. They made her and the boy in who was the character in Suko alone, brother and sister, and so this way Suko wouldn't have to be in two separate different places. Make it easier, honestly. Okay, I know I might be a bit confused and just going random, but that's kind of how it is with these reviews. Since Avatar the live action has a mix of combining episodes together, but I'll be honest, the combination they did here wasn't really bad. My only complaint was the fact they also had to combine it with an episode for Avatar Aang being in it as well, and I mean also with Toph. Now, Toph wasn't actually a bad introduction. I mean, I did like the fact they gave her a backstory, but honestly, when it came to the Sugo side of the story and Toph side of the story with Aang's, honestly, these two could have been honestly separate episodes. One of the things I did like was the fact that the Toph's family, the Bayfons, they actually had a good relationship with previous avatars and had portraits made. And I did like the fact how they were doing with the refugees, where they are traveling with the refugees but need help with supplies. And I mean, this was definitely interesting how they did. They made plenty of references. Now, well, now, honestly, I guess I'm trying to think of how to say these reviews. I mean, reviewing this episode. I mean, honestly, there really wasn't nothing bad about it. I like the decorations. I like the fact how Toph looked. They definitely picked a good actress. And honestly, from this episode alone, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do well whatever I thought they were planning to do. When before season 2 came out, I heard many people getting so angry that they were going to make Toph more feminine or something, the directors, but honestly, it really doesn't seem like they did that. I mean, I kind of get the fact that they kind of made her where Toph seemed to be more accepting her role as a Bayfon in a way where she felt like she didn't have a choice. but Aang kind of told her she does have a choice in a way. So, but what I don't like about that scene is that while that was interesting, Toph really just comes out of nowhere almost near at the end of the episode and just helps out with the fight. And basically, she's a member of Team Avatar now. Honestly, like, yeah. Like, I mean, I think Zuko alone type thing should have been a whole entire hour-long episode by itself with the combined episodes they did with him, with the other one where he was basically met that woman who had a scar on her leg. And honestly, it could have actually ended with him and Toph. I mean, with him and Toph, I mean, Toph basically coming out of nowhere. But the way how that would all work would be in if this was like episode 3 then. Where in episode 2, it would have been focusing on Aang, Sokka, and Katara with Toph. And we kind of get a bit more details with the Bayfont family and everything. And maybe they could have added something else to that as well. But then it ultimately would show scenes where Toph, where she finally makes the decision to go with them, and all of that. And I mean, technically, in this episode, they also show where Toph had a talk with her own mother, and her mother ultimately did not accept it. But Toph chooses to stay with Team Avatar and runs off. So yeah, we know how this goes. I'm gonna be honest though, this is kind of a hard to make a review of. I mean, I guess the reason why is the episode was good, and it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was compared to episode 1. I mean, in episode 1, where I was making that review, I didn't, since it's been a couple of years since I last seen the original first season, watching season 2 and my expectations of it was kind of a disappointing, because they completely skipped like a whole entire arc where Aang finds Boomy, which, I mean, they did that, but it felt very rushed where Aang just quickly flied over to the city, quickly got into the palace, and within a minute he's already talking to Boomy. They have a short conversation, although when I rewatched this, actually, the person said Boomy could actually be dying. Like, maybe Boomy knows his time in this world's almost done, and so he's not going to be able to fight or training. So someone else would have to be his earthbending teacher. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they're actually gonna do that, but if they do, I actually think that would be a good change in a way, showing the fact why Boomy ultimately did. I mean, I do have an idea how that can work, but still. But anyway, I think, in all honesty, when it comes to this episode, it was definitely good, better. There could have still been some workarounds and improvements, but really compared to the last episode, where they pretty much went from quickly going to Bossing, say, talking to Boomy for one quick moment, and then going back to have a short conversation, which was honestly not that bad as I remember when I rewatched that episode. I did enjoy the painting lady being mentioned early on, but I didn't like the fact that they went through the Serpent's Pass. Like, that should have been something later on the road, not earlier, if you ask me. But in episode 2, honestly, the ideas of putting multiple episodes together like they do with every other Avatar show, this actually wasn't a bad idea how they did it, but I do feel like it was still too much. Because with the Aang and thing, I mean, you could have still add Aang in it with the end where Zuko finds him, and I mean, they definitely did a good job with this one, I won't deny that. And I only hope the other episodes are going to be just as good as this. But now that 2 episodes are down, 5 more to go. And by the way, I do have a question. I'm not a writer or anything when it comes to like writing a whole entire movie idea. But if any of you are interested, would any of you be interested in hearing a video of me what will be my idea of an Avatar live action? With a concept idea of how it could have worked with the changes? Let me know in the comments down below, and if it gets enough support, I will do it. Until then, Justin Game 44 signing out. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.